What's up, everybody? Brett Mixer Madness here for the first PLE review of 2024 on this channel. So hit subscribe and like to help me out for a new channel. It helps out the YouTube algorithm if you do so. I really appreciate that. So did this Royal Rumble live up to the build? Were the surprises enough? We're going to talk about all of that in this review. So get a drink, chill. This will be a pretty decent review. I'll go over everything that happened, plus with some analysis on the side. We open the show with Triple H on the pre-show saying what's special about the Rumble. Everything is special about the Rumble. It's the road to WrestleMania. The first thing we see on the actual PLE is an outside shot of Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Tampa Bay, Florida. Michael Cole says, "Let's shine." WWE knows how to do video packages, and the Royal Rumble, they're by far the numbers. Their videos are by far over and above what anyone else could make. They're just great. And Hulk Hogan hosts this by-the-numbers pre-PLE video package they do. I wondered earlier if I booked things, would I start off with what match? They booked this Rumble a bit different, how I would book it. I would have started with the U.S. title, then the Women's Rumble, then the main event, Fatal 4-Way, then the Men's Rumble. So just a little bit of a change. But they started with the Women's Rumble, and I can't complain. You know, you start with the Rumble, you end with the Rumble. That makes sense, too. A night filled with excitement and surprises like the Rumble is known to do. It's got big shoes to fill. Expectations are sky high online. Every year, everyone thinks somebody could come back so huge. And every year, you got to look at it realistically. This is the 37th annual Royal Rumble presented by Corey Graves and Michael Cole, and a special Pat McAfee because he enters first to surprise people. And he says the surprises have already started. All right, we begin the Women's Royal Rumble. Entrant number 1 is Natalya. She's 4th all time in time spent in Rumbles matches for a lady. Entrant number 2 is a returning Naomi. It looked like it was all black and disco the way she comes out, and it seemed like it took a lot for the fans to realize who it was. I knew right away. I mean, that's Naomi, but she didn't get like that big pop until they announced her name, which is odd, but nonetheless, the bell rings. Here we go. They're two faces, so they shake hands. Natalya ducks a leapfrog, then goes for a waistlock. A hurricane run to Natalya by Naomi, and then out of the corner a bunch of spears. Number 3 comes Bayley of Damage Control. I was literally thinking number 3 for her too. In the pre-show, I said she'd likely have to go a long time in the Rumble at 3 or 4, and sure enough, she comes in number 3. She didn't look too thrilled on SmackDown when she drew her number, so that's kind of what told me. And plus, I figured she'd go on a long run. I didn't think she'd break the record, but I thought she'd go on a long run. I might have said something like that in my preview, though. I might have said something about her coming close to a record or breaking it. I'd have to go back and look, but I was shocked to see her do it. Natalya with a double drop kick to Bayley, and Natalya tried to eliminate Naomi at the same time, but to no avail. Out next at number 4 was Candice LeRae. A bunch of stomps with LeRae with some combination offense, taking out Bayley and Natalya. A Jericho-like facebuster, 2 separate tandems in both corners as the ladies were getting it on. Then next out is Jordynne Grace, the TNA Knockouts champion. A TNA chant is heard. TNA's Jordynne Grace comes in for the second surprise of the Rumble so far, and that's just in the first 5 entrants. She beat Naomi for that title in TNA, so the two have a great spot where they hug, but then they brawl right after, but no one is eliminated yet in this Rumble. Out next was Indy Hartwell, so Candice LeRae will have an ally as she enters her second Rumble. Michael Cole says they've never had 2 winners before in Rumble history. I guess he forgets about 1994. We should know his job better than he does. For a guy that loves stats, that's a pretty big statistic to not remember. He said one time we went into overtime with Batista and Cena in 2005, but come on, you can't forget about 1994, Brett and Luger. There's no reason why they would not mention that, unless he legit forgot, which he must have. All of a sudden, at lucky number 7, out comes Asuka, who's been lucky lately with Kairi Sane. Last night, she wins the tag team titles at the Kabuki Warriors. She kisses her title, and Bayley isn't happy she came in early. You'd think that she would be happy if she gets a partner, as what Graves was trying to say, but she wasn't happy. She said, "What about the plan?" Hartwell is out as Bayley looked happy as we get our first elimination. Out next comes Ivy Nile at number 8, the Pitbull, who is impressive immediately with a Hurricane Rana, a bunch of ladies dangling in the corner. Again, no one ever gets eliminated when there's people dangling in the corner like that. That's just a spot they they just routinely do in every single Royal Rumble, where they have people in the corner waiting. It's basically, I just watched a video on the Royal Rumble and how they do it by Maven Huffman, the former wrestler Maven. He uploaded a YouTube video on the Royal Rumble. Watched it earlier today, and he talks about how people are in the corners not just because that's a typical spot where you try and eliminate someone, but they're trying to stay out of the way from the big spot that's happening in the middle of the ring. That makes more sense to me, because I couldn't figure out why they always do that. No one ever gets eliminated that way. So why spend all the Rumble in the corners? It's because in the middle of the ring is where the spot that everyone wants to see is happening. So they're just getting out of the way for the spot. Because if you think about it, if you're just going to stand in the middle of the ring, that spot that was supposed to be seen is not going to be seen anymore. It's going to get cluttered. And you're going to bump into somebody by accident. So that makes sense. I'm glad he explained it that way, because now I at least have a justification for the wrestlers in the corner of the ring. Nonetheless, Katiana Chance, one half of the former tag team champions, is out at number 9. A lot of ladies filling up the ring. Bianca Belair comes out at number 10 to the ring as she comes out to a good pop. She almost eliminates Bayley and Asuka. Belair and Bayley with a double of big slams. Belair with some moonsaults standing in the ring. Kairi Sane comes out at number 11, so both Kabuki Warrior tag champs are in the ring now. Sane off the top, and the tag champs go to work. 10 ladies all in the ring right now. Bayley, as only one of them have been eliminated. That's Tegan Nox. Damage Control eliminated Candice LeRae for our second elimination. Out next was Tegan Nox. Oh, sorry, not Tegan Nox. That was Indy Hartwell that got eliminated earlier. Sorry about that. But Tegan Nox is out now. That's why I thought it was Tegan Nox, because she's the next entrant. A dozen in, we have 2 eliminations as far out of the dozen people that have come to the ring. This is the third hug we've already seen in the match between Tegan and Natalya. We get that they're tag team partners. You don't got to hug. Anyway, Nox threw out Natalya, then Bayley from behind it in Nox. So there's eliminations are starting to come more frequently now. Katiana Chance's increase as Kaden Carter comes to the ring, her former tag team champion partner at Unlucky 13. Kairi Sane barely touches the floor, but then she gets thrown out as she makes that unique elimination by the apron where she has both of her feet planted on the apron. It's arguable if she was already eliminated. Those feet looked like they were on the floor first, but she got eliminated right after anyway, so it didn't really matter. Chelsea Green comes out as we're almost at the halfway mark. Green almost gets eliminated as she came out, then Bianca ducked. Grace with a spine buster and wants Belair. Belair then gets in on with Grace as both women are on the apron. Belair eliminated Grace with a KOD on the apron. Nice spot, maybe the best spot of the Rumble for the women. The TNA champ is knocked out by the EST, who gets an EST chant. Out at the 15 is Piper Niven. Gotta love the random luck of the draw when teammates come out directly side by side like Chelsea Green and Piper Niven just did. If I was booking the thing, I'd put one person in between the tag team partners like they used to do. We used to see Jim Neidhart and Bret Hart come out with somebody in the middle of them. Bad News Brown would be in the middle of those two guys. Or the Hardy Boys. Bull Buchanan would be in the middle of Jeff and Matt. If you do it that way, it's more believable. And when we get to the men's Rumble, when you see the first 2 entrants, you're going to, again, hear that. At 16, the ever-dangerous Xia Li comes out. Chelsea Green kicked Niven twice, and Belair almost throw it out in the corner by Ivy Nile. Viva La Raza hits, and I instantly think of Eddie, and it's Zelina Vega. Nothing against Zelina, but I kind of feel hurt when I hear that. It's kind of like when I hear the Heart Foundation music. I think Bret and Eddie are 2 of the top 20 workers of all time. They're in the top 20, maybe even in the top 10, both of them. In the ring, I'd say they're both in the top 10. So obviously we're going to think of those 2 people when you hear Viva La Raza or the Heart Foundation theme first. But it's Natalya and it's Zelina, so it's naturally going to be somewhat of a letdown. Vega smacked Niven as the 2 wrestled. Niven hit a tilt-a-whirl DDT a tilt-a-whirl DDT was rather to hit to Piper Niven. Maxine Dupree comes out at 18, and she has a big leg scissors to Bayley. The Rumble match fills up again as we haven't had an elimination in a while until Niven eliminated Carter. Nia Jax comes out at 19, and the things turn around now as Nia Jax is in the ring. Cole picks Jax to win the Rumble. Jax eliminates Ivy Nile, and Chelsea Green tried to outpower Nia Jax, but she headbutts the rest of the ring. Chelsea Green destroyed in the middle. Jax botches, chucking Piper away. Naomi with an enziguri. Out at 20 is Shotzi in her tank. 2/3 of the Rumble all the way through for the women. Naomi with a leg drop. Shotzi with some offense. Then Dupree with a reverse caterpillar. All the ladies try and throw out Jax again, and they do that spot where everyone goes flying when the big monster can't get eliminated by everyone else trying to chuck her out of the ring. Piper Niven eliminated by Jax. Katiana Chance touched out by Nia Jax. Becky Lynch, the Mon, comes out at number 21. My pick. Becky and Nia go at it, and as soon as she comes out, Nia Jax kicked at Becky, coming off with a missile drop kick. Becky using Nia Jax as a weapon, and then she tosses Chelsea Green out by giving her a sentimental kiss before then shoving her out, did Becky Lynch. Alba Fire comes out to the ring, and she hits a Total World DDT to Belair. Alba Fire is the latest entrant, but Bayley and Naomi have both been in this ring as of this point over 40 minutes in length. Nia Jax is looking dominant as she's eliminating person after person. Shayna Baszler comes out next at 23. She's tied with Bianca for most eliminations in a women's rumble with 8. Baszler with a gut wrench suplex. Baszler dominates her competition when she comes in. Valhalla comes in and she's wearing the antlers, and Michael Cole is really excited about it for some reason. Then R-Truth comes down the ring, and that's hilarious. He tries to enter the women's rumble at number 24, so you know he's going to come out in the men's rumble at number 24. I don't know if people put those two and two together, but I did. Something R-Truth wouldn't put together, obviously, as he comes out in the women's rumble. I thought that was a great... Whoever wrote that in the show deserves a raise. That's perfect. At number 20, I don't think they've ever done that. Have they had an opposite sex member come out? Yeah, I think Santina Marella maybe one year came out, but as far as doing something like for a comedy segment, well, I guess Santina is considered comedy even though it wasn't funny. Yeah, R-Truth, it felt original even if it wasn't. At 25, Michin comes out. It's her third Rumble appearance. Nia Jax explodes through people. Naomi eliminates Fire. Bianca has been in the ring over half an hour. Bayley almost 50 minutes. And Naomi over 50 minutes. Zoe Stark comes out at 26. They're calling her the Dark Horse. Yeah, no. They should have had more people claim that win Rumble, and then maybe we could believe that Zoe Stark could win it. She got a Survivor Series title shot, and ever since then, she's just been down the ladder to the back of the line. Number 27 is Roxanne Perez from NXT. So these just more ladies. So we have usual returner. We don't have a usual returner so far like Molly or Ivory or Trish, Kelly, Lita, Tori. Usually we get a number of those types, and we haven't really had that in this Rumble. Plus, there's no AJ or Cargill as I write these notes. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. So it will be interesting to see who the last three are. Baszler is eliminated by Nia Jax in the corner. Michin thrown out by Jax. Jax then throws out Shotzi. Jax has eliminated 8 ladies, which I believe ties that record. Out next at 28 is Jade Cargill. So yes, I did speak too soon. A holy shit chant as Cargill and Jax go at it. Then she slams Jax down. Jax is eliminated by Cargill, and Michael Cole really went nuts. The crowd did too, but Cole really sold this. Cargill runs into the post shoulder first. At 29 was Tiffany Stratton. We just have one more entrant now for the ladies. Tiffany takes out the competition with a swanton, and Becky is spinebuster down. A rolling snapmare to Becky. Entrant number 30 for the ladies was Liv Morgan. No AJ Lee is my immediate thought. Liv is great though. Don't want to take away from her. Obviously, there. Now all 30 have entered. Stark is eliminated by Liv, so Naomi has gone coast to coast entrance-wise. Belair and Cargill are standing toe-to-toe and sandwiched as the fans boo. Becky almost eliminated as Naomi and Becky are eliminated by Cargill. Liv in trouble as it's Belair. My pick, Becky, is gone. I'm shocked about that as Becky Lynch got eliminated by Jade Cargill just before this. Bayley eliminates Belair, and we're down to 3 women. Belair eliminated is a shock too. Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Jade Cargill are the final 3. Morgan and Cargill side by side with the ropes. Bayley stayed in it as Cargill and Morgan worked her over. Cargill outlasted both ladies, Morgan and Cargill, on the apron, and Cargill and Bayley eliminated Morgan, I should say. No, that can't be right. Sorry, just a little bit of... I'm writing this as the Royal Rumble's happening. So, Cargill outlasted both ladies. Megan and Cargill are on the apron, and Cargan and Bayley eliminated Morgan. That's where it was. Cargill and Bayley both eliminated Morgan as she went to the ground, and Cargill went to the ground first, then Liv Morgan, and Bayley eliminated them both that way. And Bayley ends up winning the Women's Royal Rumble. The role model called her shot and won from the number 3 spot over 1 hour and 3 minutes, setting the women's record. I should have picked Bayley now that I think of it. I had her as a final 2, so I guess I get a half a point for picking her in the final 2. That's just me trying to get a half a point. I got it wrong. I predicted Bayley to get eliminated by Becky Lynch last. So I did pick Bayley to be in the final 2, but she's the winner of the final 2, so that's a wrong for me. I did get a perfect Survivor Series, but I'm not going to try and give myself points for something I didn't win here. Bayley wins the Rumble. It's more important than my predictions. Good match, good ladies match. It wasn't amazing, it wasn't a classic, but it was a good Rumble match. Cargill and Jax toe-to-toe was probably the best spot. Morgan and Naomi were nice surprises, as was Jade Cargill. Bayley's dominance was also great. That's what will be remembered from this Royal Rumble. Also kind of nice to see that Lita doesn't need to return every single year, so it makes it a bit more special when she does. I still kind of think we're going to see Becky and Rhea, and I think Bayley will get out of Damage Control and take over Io Sky maybe as a face. Something like that. We'll have to see what they do. I rated the match 3.5 stars for the Women's Royal Rumble. So nice seeing Slim Jim ads. Randy Savage still being in their promos is just awesome. Randy Savage, my man. Roman Reigns defends the title versus LA Knight versus Orton versus Styles in a fatal 4-way. Orton came out first. It's interesting that Knight came out last amongst the challengers. Usually the later you come out, the more important you are, so that's really surprising and great to see, actually. That could be because he's going to take the pin later, which is what I predicted, but hopefully he doesn't, and hopefully AJ does. I obviously know the answers now, but that's what I wrote in my notes at the time. I did all 3 guys in the corner as they stomp on Roman as the bell rings, and they have their introductions. Roman Reigns is choked out by LA Knight in the corner as the match flows along. Styles and Knight take chops to each other in the corner. Orton, then they separate off in tandems. We got Orton and Reigns, and then you got Styles and Knight in the ring with Orton and Reigns on the outside floor. Knight said that it was pretty damn good at Knight lands on his feet after he's a real trash talker out there. A number of times for LA Knight. Orton with a side suplex tonight on the announce table. Orton then throws the Tribal Chief into the steps. Pat McAfee says no one has more momentum than LA Knight. How does he figure? What about Roman Reigns? Like, Roman Reigns almost has 1,300 days in a row with the world title. He was just trying to make LA Knight look good. Knight, who was agile, was making himself look good, landing on his feet. Very agile for a man of his age, size. Roman hasn't been pinned in a singles match since the pandemic. That's the beginning. That's in 2019 we're talking about. That's incredible in a singles match. Reigns with a big clothesline as the crowd boo. Orton goes for the Superman punch, but Knight's with rights and lefts, taking the champ down and the clothesline to Roman, followed by DDT. Knight was punched, and he jumps to the top rope with a superplex to AJ Styles. A BFT by Knight over Roman, and Styles broke it up. Cole needs to settle down as we almost got a heart attack over how loud he was. Even if it was a somewhat believable spot for LA Knight to win this match, which it wasn't, but even if we did believe that, it wouldn't have happened in a simplistic early spot like that. Orton goes for the Superman punch, but Knight comes back with rights and lefts, taking the champ down. A clothesline to Roman, followed by a DDT. Knight was punched, and he jumped with the top superplex to AJ Styles. A BFT right to Roman as Styles broke it up. Styles with the Styles clash to Orton and Knight with the flying clothesline. Styles caught with an RKO out of the corner, an RKO to Knight, and an RKO to Orton after he tried the Superman punch. Orton was going to be a 15-time champ, but Solo Sikoa surely strips him in the middle of the match by throwing the ref out. Samoan spike to Orton and then Knight. It says no disqualification in a fatal 4-way. Sikoa runs the barricade and Styles is up. The official is up, but Roman gets up and gives a forearm by Styles. A triple stack and a kick out. A contrived "This is awesome" chant because it was been pretty good, but not awesome. Not awesome to the point of this match is awesome. But the crowds will chant what the crowds will chant, especially if you pay to go to the Royal Rumble. You can chant whatever you want. Styles then lets out chair shots to LA Knight. Orton then with an uppercut and a spear by Reigns to Orton. Knight with an elbow to Roman as AJ was going to springboard and get dropped nearing the end of the match here. Superman punch and a spear to Styles as Roman defeats Styles and Knight and Orton by pitting Styles as Knight and Orton couldn't get there in time. Surprising, this just went under 20 minutes. Thought they, not my review, I mean my review just hit 20 minutes, but I'm just a pay-per-view, PLE review, so that can be longer, but this match just went under 20 minutes. I thought they'd give it a half an hour, so I'm a little bit surprised to see that it went 20, just under 20. I think 18 or 19 is the official number. That's what I got anyway. I don't mind Reigns as the champ. I'm glad he didn't pin LA Knight like I thought he would. He pinned Styles instead. I give the match 3 stars. It was a really good 4 corners match. But that's the most praises I'll give it. Really good, not great or awesome or classic or legendary. There's different rings and rungs to the star ratings. I gave it 3 stars, so obviously 3.5 stars would be great. 4 stars is awesome. 5 stars, 4.5 stars is classic. 4 stars 3/4 is legendary, and 5 stars is one of the best matches of all time. That's just how I rate them. Logan Paul defends his U.S. title against Kevin Owens. Good build up to this. KO on the outside is saying, "This is my show." Owens and Paul are 2 completely different people, which is a big contrast in styles, they are as human beings and in the ring. A lot of wrestling in the early on. Antonio Inoki armbar submission from Owens. Logan Paul could hang with him. Owens misses a cannonball in the corner and then hits a frog splash and cover of the leg. A moonsault in the corner as Owens moved out of the way. A slingshot where he has him down to retain, but then Owens kicks out with a flipping lariat by Logan Paul out of nowhere. Paul then suplexed off the top Owens and then a brainbuster off the top. Logan kicks out. Owen went for a stunner, but Paul punted the bad hand. Paul then goes for the punch, but Owens hits a super kick. Then a pop-up powerbomb was countered and a right hand to KO. Graves says nobody is kicked out of the big right. This was a huge knockout punch, but KO said in weeks previous on SmackDown he's not going to give in to that. And he didn't. He kicked out, and Logan Paul couldn't believe it. Logan Paul and Owens have a double clothesline. Now Theory and Waller come running out. Brass knuckles to Paul. He's rolled up, and Paul kicked out, and Owens tries to take the knuckles off of him, and he does himself. Owens then hits Paul in the head with the knuckles, and he wins the match. He's about to win. He gets the 3, but then the ref spots it and DQs him. So Logan Paul retains the title and wins it by DQ at 14 minutes. I thought they'd give this one 20 at least, but 14 is decent. Owens wrestled a hell of a match and a hell of a fight, says Graves. Definitely was pretty good again. Owens, after the match, got screwed, and he wants to drive Paul through the table and does so. So Paul will keep the U.S. title, but Kevin Owens got the last laugh with the table bump. I rated it at 3 stars and a quarter. Now we are up to the main event, the 30-man Royal Rumble match. Number 1 was main event Jey Uso. Well, it's the main event, so it's main event Jey Uso. He comes out. They mentioned the Benoit stat by saying 4 people have won from this spot without mentioning Benoit's name. At least they acknowledged that he existed at one point and did win the Rumble. You don't have to say him by name, but they said that 4 or 5 people started from number 1 and have won. Number 2 is Jimmy Uso. Like I said in the Women's Rumble, put a person in between so it's not as obvious about people predicting the number entrance. I won't complain too much as it's kind of cool to see those two go head-to-head, I think, for the first time. There was a year or so I didn't watch a SmackDown a couple years ago, so I missed this whole bloodline beginning. Like when around the time Sami Zayn said, "You're not being very Usi," I kind of missed that whole Sami rise. So I'm not sure if Jimmy and Jay have ever went at it, but it was a cool moment nonetheless. And number 3, Grayson Waller comes out to cut a promo, and he says he is cringeworthy. And no, Graves, it's not the first time someone's in a promo in the Rumble match. We had Rikishi do the Too Cool dance in the Rumble. We had CM Punk sit in the Rumble in 2010 talking on the mic. We had Daniel Puder cutting a promo in 2005 before he got chopped by Benoit and Eddie. We had Ivory cutting a promo. I don't know why I'm going like this every time I say cut a promo. Maybe I should grab the mic. Just something to notice. So a lot of people have cut promos during the match. There's probably a few other instances, but if the WWE, if you're talking about a match that you've done over 40 times, counting women rumbles, over 40 rumbles you've done, chances are somebody's done it. Number 4 is Andrade. It took me like a half a minute to figure out who that was. Andrade chops back at Waller. Andrade got double knees in the corner and this double snapshot vertical suplex and the Three Amigos. Carmelo Hayes is number 5, as there's a lot of ethnicity in this Rumble to begin with. Usos, Andrade, Hayes. There's a bit of a standoff. One person, and that would continue in a big way. Next up was Shinsuke Nakamura. So there you got another person who's in there, Japanese. And now we get yet another nationality. Lucky number 7 is Santos Escobar. But now with this heritage thing in the Rumble is getting unbelievable, because out next is Karrion Kross. Kross and Uso target AJ in the corner, or Jey in the corner. Jimmy Uso takes it to them in the corner. Not many eliminations happening, just like the female Rumble in the first 10. Out next is Dirty Dom. He goes to eliminate anyone, but can't get them over. Out 10 is Carlito. So they're just having Latin American, Mexican, Spanish, Japanese. I'm thinking at this point Jinder Mahal's going to come out next or somebody. And then they have Dominic Mysterio, Santos Escobar, Carlito. Then we have Lashley, so we have an African American as well. Lashley's 6th Rumble. Lashley dumps Kross out of the Rumble. A rather simplistic way to eliminate a guy you want to push. The AOP come out and march out here. Kross eliminates Lashley as Bobby and Kross go at it on the outside, so at least they continue that feud as the Street Profits and the Final Testament. Number 12 comes to the ring, and it's Imperium's Kaiser, so another nationality. There's been a dozen entrants, and not one Caucasian North American has entered the ring, because Grayson Waller earlier was Australian. Unless Karrion Kross is, I don't think Karrion Kross, I can't even picture what he looks like right now, Karrion Kross, because I have barely seen him. Unlucky, but he might be the only white American in this ring. Out numbers 13 is Austin Theory. The first one that I know for sure is first or second. Finn Balor then comes out, and I believe he's Australian or Scottish. I don't know. I should know what Finn Balor is, but I don't. Carmelo Hayes eliminated Balor, and Dominic of the Judgment Day beat him up. At 15, it's Cody Rhodes. He for sure is. Cody Cutter, we're halfway through the Royal Rumble, though. That's amazing. Cody Cutter eliminated Austin Theory. Judgment Day team up against Cody. A big Bronson Reed is halfway through the men's Rumble now, comes out, and he takes out both members of the Judgment Day with a spear. Reed just double Samoan dropped both members of the Judgment Day, Dirty Dom and Balor. Andrade gets thrown out then by Cody and Shinsuke Nakamura, then reconnect their feud in the ring. Kofi then comes in second behind Kane with his 16th Rumble appearance. Kane has 18, so he needs 2 more to tie him. Crossroads and Nakamura eliminated. Imperium's Kaiser just barely hanging on as Kingston with a high thrust kick then eliminated Kaiser. Number 18 out next is the longest IC champion Gunther, who is not happy with Kaiser's elimination. The longest reigning IC champ comes into the ring. Surprisingly low noise to the crowd by Gunther. I thought he would get a bigger reaction. Jimmy Uso does a shimmy and a shake and gets punched by Gunther in the middle of the ring after trying to team up with him. Jimmy Uso is the bitch of the two Usos, that's for sure. Kingston and Gunther both connect. Upside down elimination, and Kingston is eliminated by Gunther. No Rumble logic for Kofi this time. Out number 19 is Ivar. Ivar drops his body weight. Gunther grabs him from behind for a sleeper attempt, and a double clothesline happens. Number 20 is Braun Breaker, the former NXT champ. Big time spear. He comes out with amazing speed and power. Breaker eliminates Uso. Balor then eliminated by Breaker. Breaker then goes face to face with Gunther in a military press, and off the ropes with a spear. Oh, next, number 21, it's Omos. 2/3 of the way through this men's Rumble. Omos with a choke slam to Dom. Reed takes it to Omos, and he eliminates Reed. Ivar with a springboard, but spear in the midair by Breaker to Ivar. Number 22 is Pat McAfee. He doesn't like the monsters he sees, so he carefully eliminates himself after 2 teases. That's a waste of an elimination, if you ask me. Because it was a comedy spot that didn't hit, in my opinion. Number 23 is JD McDonough, and this is funny because our 24 is R-Truth, just like I said he'd be, because he came out at 24 in the Women's Rumble, so he comes out naturally at 24 in the Men's. Omos is eliminated by Braun Breaker, who is just eliminated by Dirty Dom. R-Truth comes out in the women's match at 24, so I was waiting for him to come out at this spot. Cody Rhodes almost eliminated Gunther. R-Truth tells JD off as he gets clotheslined to the floor. R-Truth wants to get tagged in, and Gunther and R-Truth hit a shoulder breaker and a side suplex. R-Truth then goes to hit John Cena, you can't see me, and runs to the boot to the face. Cody then takes the leg of Gunther. Out number 25 is The Miz, so the Awesome Truth has a chance to reunite. He ties Dolph for third all-time with the 15th appearance in the Rumble match. What a great tornado DDT to Gunther. Awesome Truth get an Awesome Truth chant. Dirty Dom was going to get eliminated, but R-Truth stops him. Maybe Damian Priest, who just eliminates Damian Truth right after that, as Damian Priest comes to the ring at 26. He eliminates R-Truth to the big boos, and Michael Cole says maybe the money ran out. Yeah, Cole, maybe the money also ran out to somebody else in the WWE in the last week, and that's why it's been a shitstorm. Cody Rhodes gets out of the corner, and Cody with a slam to Priest. Number 27 is surely CM Punk. Punk comes in with a swinging neckbreaker and a high knee. He says it's clobbering time. The fans are up on their feet as they should be. Dirty Dom goes to eliminate Punk, and he throws out Dom instead. He walks right into a right hand from Priest. Hard to believe it's time for another entrant, as that 1 minute when Punk came out really went fast. But it's Ricochet at number 28. Ricochet is all loud, and the crowd have no connection to this guy. Gunther eliminates Miz with a thunderous chop. 29 is Drew McIntyre, who I forgot all about. Jey Uso with a spear and a thrust kick to Gunther, and he almost eliminated him, but Jey almost went coast to coast. 50 plus minutes, but Gunther eliminates Jey. Then gold old number 30, who could it be? Is it The Rock? Is it Brock Lesnar? Is it Hulk Hogan? Some other surprise entrant? Maybe it's Vinci from Imperium. Number 30 was Sami Zayn. So Liv Morgan and Sami Zayn both returned at number 30. So a little less appealing than other names that I could come up with. But it's always nice to see Liv. It was always nice to see Sami. And yeah, so decent returns. Everyone has entered the Rumble match for the men. McIntyre flips Ricochet by one leg over the top rope. Huge elimination there. The final 6 look at one another. You got Priest, Drew, Cody, Punk, McIntyre, and Gunther. Future shock to CM Punk with Zayn with an exploder. McIntyre eliminates Zayn right after. No revenge for Zayn. The final 4 are McIntyre, Rhodes, Punk, and Gunther. They show Reigns and Rollins both from the skyboxes, and Rollins can't believe it. And Reigns is being talked to by his wise men, and talking about how the wise man just looks at Reigns, just trying to see what kind of look he has on his face. And 2 tandems are left. McIntyre giving the Punk legit chops that look like they really hurt. Those were receipts. Welcome back receipts from Drew McIntyre to CM Punk. Good thing for Punk tonight, not only putting over Cody, but to take those chops. He really knew that he needs to work his way up if he's going to be winning. I thought they'd give him this, but who knows? Maybe he wins the Elimination Chamber. We'll have to see. But before we get to that talk, there is Final 4. 2 tandems square off. A Claymore to Punk, and he kips up. Punk then eliminates McIntyre out of nowhere. The final 3 are the 3 favorites: Gunther, Punk, and Rhodes. Now a powerbomb. Rhodes went for a Cody cutter, but Cody eliminates Gunther. Down to 2, Cody and Punk. Now this is when the drama folds in. They have a long 2. Taker and Shawn was a long one, but I don't know if it was as long as this. This one went quite a while. Also, last year, I believe Gunther and Cody went quite a while last year, if I'm not mistaken, too. Bionic elbows missed a clothesline. Cody had Punk on the ropes. A running bulldog by Punk. Punk signals for the go to sleep. Counters it into a crossroads attempt, but he missed it. Then Cody hits the bionic elbow, and these two are having quite the standstill. Punk from behind tries to eliminate Rhodes. This is drama. Pure suspense here. Punk then goes to eliminate Cody because you don't know who's going to win between these two. Punk then goes to eliminate Cody, and he hits a crossroads. The drama is so rich and unpredictable for that reason I just named. Cody gets some Cody chances. Punk gets to go to sleep. Both guys drop down. Was this the last gasp was the question. This is awesome is chanted. The suspense was awesome for sure. Punk goes to eliminate Cody, and he hangs on. Punk almost went over the top rope. Then they both land in the ring. Punk gets a pedigree. Punk says, I didn't just wait 10 years to lose to Dusty's kid. That made me right there know he was losing. Yep. You say something like that, you're gone. And Cody counters. I didn't predict it, but I'm saying in that moment I knew he would lose. I predicted Punk to win, but I knew in that moment he was gonna get tossed out. And sure enough, Cody Rhodes tosses out Punk. Cody has the chance to finish his story as he won the Rumble for the second straight year. First man to do it in 26 years since Austin back in the Shark Tank threw out The Rock in San Jose with one hand. Remember that Rumble of 1998 for 2 straight wins? Well, Cody eliminating Punk did that for the first time in over a quarter of a century. Back-to-back Rumbles won by Cody Rhodes. So I said Bayley would be in the final 2 with a loss. She was in the final 2 but won. I said Punk would win in the final 2 with a win, but he lost. So my predictions, you could say I went 2 out of 7 or 4 out of 7 if you count the fact that I got the final two right, just in the wrong spots. I'll give myself 2 out of 7 because, hey, I got a perfect Survivor Series. I got a perfect Raw. SmackDown, I went 3 out of 4 last night. So I'll be okay with the 2 out of 7. But I did get the other 2 people right who were in the final 2, just the wrong area. Overall, it wasn't a great Rumble. It wasn't an awesome Rumble. It was a good Rumble. All Rumble matches are great, so I give it a great rating. I give it 3 stars and 3/4. But for a Rumble match, it was just good, in my opinion. The Rumble winner, Cody Rhodes and Bayley. So how did this event fail out of 10? Feel, not fail. So the PLE overall out of 10, I give the Royal Rumble 2024 a 7.5 out of 10 because this show had no bad matches. Every match was pretty good to great. Not classic, awesome, but good or great. So they have the Mania path decided. As far as the surprises or shocks, it was underwhelming in a way, but we as a fan base ask too much and expect too much. So Morgan and Zayn and Morgan were fine as 30 entrants. I would have liked to see AJ Lee. I would have liked to see The Rock, but maybe we still have those 2 coming. So that does it for the 2024 Royal Rumble. Join me back here for my Raw preview tomorrow, and of course for the Raw after that, for the Raw review, the Royal Rumble Monday night after. I also do the Monday Night Wars every single day on this channel, so if you've made it this far, please hit like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. And that's it for the Royal Rumble 2024. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. The first PLE of 2024, 7.5 out of 10. Cody and Bayley are your winners going to WrestleMania 40. I'm Brett Mix signing off for the January 27th first PLE event of 2024, and I'm out.